an absolutely disgusting and entirely unsurprising news story out of the state of Utah. The Republican president of the Utah State Senate, changed age of consent laws after one of his relatives was accused of raping a 13-year-old child. Senate President J. Stewart Adams, who is a Mormon, shocking, suggested that the Utah State Legislature should change child rape laws. Previously, as adults, 18-year-old high school students who had sex with a 13-year-old could face a charge of child rape, a first-degree felony. A conviction on that charge generally requires registration as a sex offender, while a conviction on the newly created lesser charge does not. Again, that is for an 18-year-old having sex with a 13-year-old. The law was changed to offer a new option to prosecutors dealing with 13-year-old victims of child rape. 17-year-olds who have sex with 13-year-olds face a third-degree felony charge of unlawful sexual activity. The new law allows prosecutors to file that same charge against an 18-year-old if they are enrolled in a high school student. If an 18-year-old is enrolled in high school, that student is a senior in high school. If a 13-year-old is enrolled in school, that student is in middle school in the 8th grade. High school seniors and 8th graders. And J. Stewart Adams, Republican Mormon president of the Utah State Senate, wants 18-year-olds in high school who have sex with 8th graders to have a lesser charge available to them because one of his relatives is in trouble for doing that right now. Adams swore that his involvement and familial relationship had nothing to do with the legislation. Some have suggested this change was made to benefit the case I was made aware of involving the high school senior that he's related to. That is simply not true. While the sponsor of the bill was aware of the case, I did not request the legislation and did not intervene or give input on drafting the bill. Bullshit! The mother of the middle school age victim told the Tribune that she was shocked to hear about the new law. It was out of nowhere. It felt like I was punched in the gut. She noted that in both the prosecution and the legislative debate, her child was an afterthought. I have been saying for months, Republicans don't give a damn about victims. They care about perps. This legislation helps perps, not victims. In this case, the victims are 13-year-old 8th grade girls. As an aside, if you're 14 years old in Utah, you can consent to sex. So all of this led me to find another article. Why is sexual abuse so common in the Mormon Church? When people in positions of power use their status to take advantage of trusting youth, the world must take a collective step back and ask how. Many parents would trust that their church would be a safe place for this growth and development. Who in the fuck in 2025, in August of 2025, who in the United States of America trusts the safety of their children at church? Who is that stupid? I mean that seriously. Who is that stupid to trust the safety of their children at church? There are many reasons for the prevalence of sexual abuse within the Mormon church. Most often, it's the result of favoring the church's reputation, the way laws are written, the values that are impressed upon LDS members. That's right, I'm reminded that recently you're not allowed to have a dozen wives who are all under the age of 15 anymore. When a member of the church shares sexual abuse allegations with a leader, they expect to receive personal guidance and good care. But most LDS leaders, such as bishops or elders quorum presidents, are often unpaid volunteers who step into appointed positions within their wards. They likely haven't received any formal training on handling the types of personal conflicts and crimes that have become a pattern of behavior within the Mormon church, including the rape of children. While leaders might be acting in what they think is the best interest of all parties involved, they're ultimately putting the good of the church ahead of the victim's well-being. I'm not really going to read any more of that. I'm not going to read any more of that. I've read horrific stories of child sexual abuse in the Mormon church, and the people in authority within the church in every single one of those stories that I have read has taken the side of the offender and has scolded the victim for being a slutty little temptress, even if they didn't realize they were doing that, and has punished the victim. So Mormonism was also fabricated out of nothing and is not a real religion. It's gibberish. You're going to tell me a dude looked into a hat with a special stone at a gold tablet, and the special stone translated what was on the gold tablet, and that guy went on to marry a fuck ton of teenage girls? How do you people not put this shit together, man?